Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the tier system of Access Football 26. We are about to start. We have cap space of 104. We've been kind of keeping this as kind of realistic as possible, with first round picks get the 5 year option, and then second through seventh get 4 years, even though it could be less. Um, with like 6 and 7 having it be 3 or 2 years. But I looked it up, and um, first round gets that 5 year option, whether if the team accepts it or not. I would say it's kind of like a franchise tag, but it's not. Um, but it's just their additional thing that they had a bargaining agreement on within the recent years of getting drafted first round. And majority of the teams pick up that 5th year option, with the production of how first rounders are, whether if they're, you know, obviously good players within the league, but whether if their production is kind of mediocre towards the middle of the pack or if it's been, towards the top, that most teams, accept that 5th year option. So we have our personnel within the team. We got 8 practice squad people. We see a bunch of inside linebackers with A pluses. We don't have the funds to pick them up because they're more than likely going to be, 15 to $20 million a year type players. And then if we wanted to trade them, we'd have to buy out their contract and then, you know, um, respectfully gain money after that, with clearing the cap space. But overall, we have an A+ QB that this is the last year of the contract, so we're trying to save up for that. He's 25 years old. We have running backs of B minus, and C+. 27-year-old. We have the 21-year-old and the 24-year-old. And then we also have the 25-year-old C. We have been going in the right direction as far as, development wise. We have been trying to pick up coaches that have B+ to A+ development, so that way they can progress decently, and also whenever I can to elevate the uh, practice facilities. That way they can get more developed. So we have an A- wide receiver, Quentin Steele. I was kind of debating on whether if I should, because he was a decent amount of money, but we had the money and funds, and then we picked up, some C+s overall, with B minuses and a B+. So we were able to keep him within the budget. Cliff Olson, that we picked of a first round draft pick, he's been doing pretty well after, trading Carter Howard, that was on the team originally as an A. We got another tight end that's an A, and progressively beginning people that have been progressing, but not as to the extent of what Cliff Olson has been doing. Offensive tackle, whether it be kind of the B+ B- range, and with the younger guys being that C+, but Miles has been regressing with being 31. So that to kind of compare this to overall Madden, 28 to 29 is when they start regressing, just like Madden. So you have between 22 to 27 years of age within this game to see how much they are going to progress. So if they are going to be young, you would want them to start, but yet if they don't have the value of starting, then obviously I wouldn't start them. But it really depends on their progressive rates and stuff like that. I don't know how that all gets involved with this game. I would imagine the better you have your facilities, the better they will improve within their, you know, overall within being the A to F system. So there is no E's, but it's, A, B, C, D, and then F, just like school. So we have centers. We got some B's, as in center, 22-year-old Pat Parker, 23-year-old, and a 25-year-old, so pretty young for the center position. Defensive tackle, we got 3 of them. We do a 3-4, so we technically only need one. We could change our defensive style to a 4-3, but we kind of only need one defensive, or we would have to add another defensive tackle to make it a 4-3. That way we have two backups, but we are decent at the defensive tackle position. Defensive end, we have Tilden Evans that has been here since the default of, overall the game. And then we have Marshall and Russell for, the starting end and the backup. Inside linebackers, we have B to B minus and then C plus for a backup. Outside linebacker, B minus, C plus, and then a C. Next year, we'll kind of try and take a look at improving the linebacker position. And we have two corners valued at A's and then B's all the way down to that backup. And then we also have some in the practice squad too. Free safety, strong safety have been kind of it was at first a struggle with, a C plus being at the best, but we drafted Ace Ahmed, who is a plus. Couldn't pass up on him, even though technically we weren't kind of really looking at the strong safety position, as we had some people on contract, but we couldn't pass it up with having an A plus, with having two A's in the corner position. That wasn't something I was going to take a look at and try to get the front seven taken care of and then work the way back. But I couldn't pass up on Jace. Then we have a C minus for a kicker and a B plus for a punter with some A's overall within their attributes. And then kick return stuff. So overall, that's our team. So far, we probably will get some personnel trade requests within the year for our players. As we can kind of look at Lucas Beasley, like I said, he has 1 year remaining. So after this year, he's going to look for a contract extension, as he is already $24 million a year. Then we have Dexter, who is going to be looking for a contract extension. I may have him walk due to he is a C plus and he's also 24 years old, but we'll see at the end of the year to see how he's progressed. Samuel Thompson will probably look to extend, and then Johnny Osborne, we will look to let him walk with being a C plus and 28 years old. Tight end wise, the 29-year-old is going to be walking. And then guard wise, we'll look to extend him. And by extending and also free agents, I kind of give them what they're expecting. Obviously, I raise the salary up by $500,000 to make them happy. Otherwise, they're going to be looking for a higher salary. But other than that, I don't mess with the years. I don't really mess with that because that's what they want, and that's what kind of I'm going with within this build. So we are in tier 3. We had the chance to move up within the bracket wise, but we haven't had the opportunity to move up to tier 2. So we're going to simulate the first game. We won by 13. Like I mentioned, we're going to get trade requests throughout the year for Mr. Strong here, or I would imagine Tilden Evans, but it looks like it's only Mr. Strong, and we got a bunch of options. 27 third round pick and next year's second round with Chicago. Same thing with Arizona, and same thing with Las Vegas. Or no, Las Vegas is this year's second and third round pick. And then it's just player for player, and we wouldn't have to buy out anything. We would just be gaining $3.84 million in cap space. For an outside linebacker, that's 24, is 2 years and a $7 million. I may look into that for an extra outside linebacker. That's decent, but I will look at see where he's at in the depth chart to see if it's a good thing to move or if it's not. Overall, even though we kind of just looked at that, but he is second string, and what would be next is Russell Lucas, that has a C plus in awareness. So Overall, Marshall Strong is a good contender to possibly trade, but I wouldn't want to trade him. He is also 23, and he is possibly likely to progress. So we will not be trading Marshall Strong. And then we lost by 3 to Tennessee. To Washington, 1 at Boston. We have been winning. We had a little hiccup of 2 game. We'll kind of see what is happening right now. So a lot of people want Marshall Strong because I guess he is our best trade piece. So they're wanting to give us their kicker, 4 years, 4.3, 28 years old, for a third and a second with Marshall Strong. I'm going to reject. And second and third, they're still offering that. Second and third this year for him. Second and third this year for him. Pittsburgh, second and third this year for him. I'm going to say no. We are winning right now. We are in the top 4. I don't want to break that up. Now we're second. We are first. We lost, so we're second. We have our D-line coach A-, +1 boost to all D linemen. We didn't lose our second, now we won. We're still in the top 4. We're 11 and 4. We'll kind of see if it's literally just Marshall right now. We're rejecting that. Second round for running back. He's 28 years old, so no. Our defensive lineman, third for a first. Him for a first. I wouldn't say no to that, but let's see. We have no first round picks this year. So, by all means, it wouldn't be a bad thing to absorb a first for him, because I think right now we are locked in for the top 4. It's just he's a good defensive lineman. Why don't we? We'll absorb a first round pick, get another player that we can get locked up for 5 years. Whether it be for Denver, that would be next year. This year's, I'm going to go with San Francisco because I don't want to give up a third this year. Don't need a running back. They're giving me a third this year and a second next year, which I think he's worth more than that. They're giving me a fifth this year and a second next year, worth more than that, and a second and a third this year. He's worth more than that. So I'm going to go with San Francisco, accept it. So we have one less guy on our roster. So do we have any defensive? We do. So we have Turo, the 21-year-old Abner. I'm going to go with Abner. Right now, I want to also look at facilities real quick. It's perfect. Perfect. Kind of looking for the bare minimum right now. It should be fine. Not going to install these. I'm just kind of swim laps rehab from an injury affects player progression, team morale, and injury recovery time. Rehab. Why don't we do that for right now, and then I don't think we won that game. trying to. We have 5 injuries right now. Beasley out for the season. Week. Holy man. So we've been decent just for not having our star. Well, lost in the first round, so you were out for the season there, bud. We're wanting 26 for 3 years. I'd have to bump that to 27. So there's that. It's 25, letting him walk. 26, he wants 10 mil, 4 years. 25 Vanguard. Center. Don't necessarily need you. I'll add you. Side linebacker. What does he want? He wants just basically another mill. We'll add him. There, that's got to be it. Oh, the corners. We may have to trade for people. Yeah, we can't use our draft picks. Maybe one. Yeah, we got to trade our... Probably wasn't a good idea to purchase that, but I'd rather have people progress, and it seems like they're progressing a little bit more with that spa room, but with people who are 30. So all we need is kind of an outside linebacker right now. Kicker at 32. That's everybody who dumped everybody. This points. He moves to the active roster. So they want us to get him back, trade for him, and then they give him a new contract. Essentially, because he had 1 year left on his deal. A corner for a center that I don't need. Corner for a first round next year. Corner in the third for... That's a corner next year. For that, I wouldn't mind this, but he's 31. This I could live with. Yeah, we have a bunch of corners at like B's. A third round next year that I'm giving up. Oh, it's this year. Which I don't need because I don't have the money. So they want a first round 2029 for a third round this year that I don't need. This I'd be okay with. 26 B plus. That I'll accept. I'll just have to find a defensive tackle. This I don't need. This I don't need. This I don't need. This and this for this. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Second round this year for a guard. I'll accept that. So right now I got 2 kickers. Release. So now I cleared some cap space. So linebacker, Maddox Stone. Strong safety. What's that linebacker? Oh. Okay. Hoping nobody else needs. Okay. Yeah, I only have 5 mil, so I have to trade my draft picks. So his speed player doesn't look that bad, but I wonder if he's a 29 years old. It's 3 years for that. I can't afford it. And he didn't sign outside linebacker. So personnel trading. Okay, they were decent. Oh. No. Do a couple fours and 2/3. Okay, perfect. So we got at least our outside linebacker. So let's look for inside. B minus, but no. Okay, perfect. I'll look for. Do they need DT and a punter? Punter's an A now. Oh, yeah, I know. We're not getting rid of him. Okay. So that's all of my draft picks this year. Because I can't afford it. So, running back, we're good. We got Quincy, Bill Potter, we got Carmen, we got that. Fullback, we're good. Our receiver, we've been good, so I haven't had to worry about that. Tight end, we're good. Tackle, we're good. Guard, we're now good. Wilson, that gets the practice squad. Center, we're good. Defensive tackle, we need another one though. The end, we're good. Abner's now B minus. Side linebacker. We're now good with B's across, besides the backup, which is fine. Same with now Maddox Stone. It's not the starting guy anymore. We not have any backup corners now? We do. Okay. So we got the one backup corner. So throughout the year, we're going to have to sign another one or two. We're going to send Arturo. We're going to send our third string QB. Our squad. Send him to the full squad. So that way, outside linebacker Maddox Stone is a B. And Russell and Arturo. So at least we got backups now. I wish you could change their position then full time too. Overall, since he's a B at defensive tackle and outside linebacker, he's a C plus. So, but overall, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. We have 5 million left, cap space of 70 million. We've stayed in tier 3, and hopefully that changes sometime soon. Catch you on the next one.